morning and welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, and Disembodied Hands, Quinny, Disembodied Beard, John, and sometimes a Kuro with ears or not ears. I don't know. How many ears do you have today, Kuro? You only have Christmas Day off? That's horrid. Two ears! Yes! Awesome. Super fantastic. Oh, my. Ugh. There we go. So yeah, lovely. We are going to be finishing this lady up today. I also have some new paints from Bonita to test. Double Nickel Day. Nice. 55 months. Thank you for the resub, Turgeon. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Mucho apreciado. Oh, and for the cat lovers in the chat, I was looking for a different t-shirt today, but I discovered this one. And the Japanese text says, "The cat is watching today." I thought that was a cute shirt. If I had a cat, I would get it. Oh, working on Christmas Day. Yeah. There was a time when I didn't really have like any family close to me for Christmas when I was willing to do that. Like when my parents were when my brother was away at college and my parents were living in Spain, I worked Christmas Day. It was still not my favorite thing to do. Alright, so let's get stone colors out. And I was using a little bit of blue liner to get that cool shadow, but I don't need it anymore. Yeah, it's on a site called Tokyo Tiger. So I don't know if it has more cat designs on it. There also is a black one with white cats. The cat is watching today, which looks even more Twilight Zone. And you can get it in various colors. Should you like a purple cat? Yes, so this is good. Tokyo Tiger, the cat is watching today t-shirt. That's what you're looking for. I'll have to check out their other designs. Sadly, I was looking for athletic tees. Yeah, there's some cute ones. There's a noodle-eating cat. The noodle-eating cat. That's adorable. Oh, there's a wave cat. Yeah, I like this. I like these, Oh, the surfing cat. Cat in the wave. It's a calico, so that I agree. I approve of it. There's a lot of void cats here. Well, that's pretty. Yeah, there's some really pretty shirts on this site. I'll have to go looking. Yeah, wait, those I need the extra shifts to avoid the postage. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your life is like that, Koro, right now. So I'm gonna, instead of just adding like white and yellow this time, we're just gonna add cairnstone because that's kind of what our highlight went up to before when we were doing the back side of the model. So yeah, we're just gonna do some texture. Oh, they have some great ugly Christmas sweaters, yeah. Nice. Ah, my stone gray is almost out of juice. Need to poke it. But yes, I don't know why the search that I made returned that result, but I was happy to find the cat shirt. I doubt I'll buy it, but because I do not currently have a cat. It would be if they had a dog is watching one with the German Shepherd face, then I might. I might be into that. Alright, so we're gonna get our stone gray, cut with a little bit of our cairnstone. Blook. Oh no, I hate that Koro. Hate that. Shipping nowadays, like, seriously. Shipping nowadays, not fun. Kiki, that's a no. You have to settle down or you're going to be stuck in here. Settle now. It's work time. Don't care. Don't care. Mama don't care. Kiki's like, but, attention. Just settle down, ba. Hello, Marich. Yeah, it's kind of a belated morning. I woke up with my brain firmly in Patreon land instead of writing land, so no words on Queenmaker today. Ah, oh no, that was way too much. See, it happens to the best of us, guys. In which case, I'm just going to salvage this situation by transporting some of it over. Kiki, you stop it or you get stuck in this room. Be quiet now. I don't give two craps what's going on outside on the street. Yeah, it's just way too much paint. Oh well, wasted some paint. He's like, work, no way. Yeah, he's a little anarchist. That's what he is. I mean, it's very evident that the SSC is all about the anarchy. It's like the brush swatting will continue until the food improves. There, I darkened that one and I'm going to lighten this other one and then we'll have at least a triad. I was seriously stressed out for the last 2 days. But I should have. I'm going to spend all day working on my $5 PDF and get it done. And that should help a bit. Then I just have to film 3 videos next week. I should be able to do some editing while David's parents are here. So if I can get the videos shot decently, then I can use some of the time when they're here before we leave for the trip to actually get all my Patreon stuff done. Just always so stressed. Why does the bot hate you? I don't know. Chaotic Kangry. Yeah, I believe it. Nobody... Oh, the Twitch has decided it doesn't want my spam. Oh, I'm sad. I feel singled out. I'm going to use my 00. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush today. There we go. Got it. Alrighty, so we're going to use our trio of stone colors that we mixed up. All of them are pretty light because I already blocked in some darker stone down here. Now we're just going to start getting some of these stipples going on. I think I already stippled some of this stuff. Yeah, this color is more going to go down here on the bottom. So the more the pure stone gray with just a little bit of the Cairn stone is more going to give us a little bit of texture down here on the bottom here. Just so it doesn't look quite so much like it's just we glopped paint on. We want to introduce the texture. And again, I like to kind of focus lighter paint on the edges because they tend to be worn off, especially, or worn down, especially if the blacks are, you know, rubbed against or touched a lot or stepped on. Everything needed to be re-permissioned. It is a random day. I still have a lot of Christmas I need to do on top of all the Patreon. It's just kind of it's that kind of week, guys. I'm gonna get some brown liner here. On top of that, I like finally found like a training philosophy slash plan for my running that I think will work. Like everything tells you need to build base, but they just don't give you like an idea of how long base building should take or could take or needs to take given your time frame or whatever. So I found a book that I really liked about it, and then I found out about a training method from that book, and then I asked the AI gods, I asked ChatGTP to like kind of outline for me what that would look like in my situation with my specific deadline of the 21K in October. Because training for a half marathon should not be half-assed. Just because it's a half marathon does not mean that you can half-ass it. So it spit out a thing, and I was like, all right. And I also ordered the book that I was reading that I liked the training program of, so I can kind of cross-reference with its build your own training program chapter. I like to kind of do my own thing. And I figured out that I can ask my Garmin watch to give me specific workouts. So once I have the workouts figured out, I can enter them into my Garmin watch, and it will just have me do them, and it will give me all the little alerts and stuff, which is terribly convenient of it. Oh, yeah. You can sous vide them in an igloo cooler. That makes sense. You just need to like have a big enough container, and a cooler makes sense, right? Because it retains the temperature and would keep it steady. So that's pretty cool. What was that? I saw somebody sous vide a whole pig. Like they actually like got a giant like kind of water trough. I think it was a horse water trough. And they used it as a sous vide, and they had to put like plates on the top of it to keep the heat in. Yeah, you can sous vide anything with enough. You might need more than one sous vide, because as you get bigger, I think this guy used like 4 or 6 different sous vides to keep the water circulating at temp. So depending on the power of your sous vide and the size of your turkey and the size of the environment, and how well you can close down the environment. I guess with a cooler, you can close it down pretty well, but you still need to let the cord get out. But yeah, so sometimes for bigger stuff, you need more than one sous vide wand, just to keep the water at temperature more effectively. All right, I'm using my brown liner mixed with a bit of that stone gray mixture to line in between the stones and get them a little bit more defined. I already went over a bunch of these guys. I think I might need to still do the front, so I'm going to get those done. We also need to do the gold on her. The gold trim on stuff and her belt buckle and things. So we'll get to that too, hopefully today. Which means I need to find yet another model. I was going to replace Ghosty Guy with Ogre Mage. Now I need to look through my various Reaper models and decide. Also, the leg is right here, so I think I'm going to put some water in this dark color and kind of block in a shadow. So just a little bit of a blob of darker color here. Kind of got a bit watery on me, so I'm going to grab a little bit more paint to throw in there. I just sous vided some chicken for my lunch today. Got that done this morning. But yeah, my training plan for the next 10 months, like, it's kind of daunting to look at the whole thing. But this is what I have to do if I want to run 10 miles in the mountains. So this is going to be a test of my conviction, guys. How bad do I want it? Happily, the training program is pretty gentle because I like you always want to give context, and so you're always like, well, I'm older and I'm still overweight, you know, that kind of thing. So it's pretty gradual ramp up. But I think I'm going to be driving to do my runs on both weekends days, just so I can get to somewhere that's appropriate for the training, for the course. So it's going to start sucking up more time, which is kind of what these things do. Sous vide anything? Yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean, it's a logical YouTube channel given the popularity of sous vide and the fact that you really can sous vide anything. So again, I'm just going to be putting little stipples. My darkest stone color that I mixed up is more like only useful really down here where I've got the darker color. But once we get up here, I'll be pulling on those lighter colors. So I was thinking I might just do the inside of Dragon Mouths. This Dragon Masterclass might just be about the mouth and gums, because teeth and claws I do very similarly, so I may want to do those in a separate video. I've already done kind of one on them, but I'll do it specifically for Masterclass. And maybe I'll talk a little bit more about some different things to do with it too. But yeah, so it looks like I'm going to be devoting my weekend mornings to running next year. Pretty much from January right up to my race in October. And we'll see if by the end of that, if I'm so happy and relieved that I don't have to anymore, or if it's turned into a proper habit and I enjoy it. A little bit of a crack sculpted in there. I'll actually put a crack over here because it looks like there could be one. And then we can move to our lighter colors to get some more stippling down. Done a lot of it here. I'm gonna just, as I look back and forth, I'm just seeing more spots on the back that I need more on. So I'm gonna use my really light color to get the top of these stones that are sticking out, because they would pick up more light. And I'll try to get this guy too. Oh, got some paint on the knee. Get some water and scrub that off real quick. There. Mostly I just want to be able to run for 12 point, what is it, 6.2, 12.4? 21K is a half marathon though, so it's more like 13.1 miles. without dying. I want to finish. I don't even have a time goal. I'm just like, I want to survive. I'm going to survive and finish the race. Oh, that sucks. Sucks that you fell, Kuro. Was it geese this time? Or unruly canines? Or slippery riding? Because lots of rain. It was ice. Oh my god. Yeah, when things get icy, that's definitely kind of fraught to be out on a bike. Just before the weather broke, I see. Yeah. There's a little crack there, but it was kind of broad, and it kind of looked like it was supposed to be another brick. So I think I'm just going to make it another brick. Yes, you were also attacked by geese at the same time. Right. That was my initial... I initially assumed geese as well. Geese. Everybody's villains. There's a crack that's etched into this area. If you really want a crack to look right, though, you have to highlight the lower edge. It'll make it stand out more after you put the dark crack in there. So I'm going to get my really light color here. And highlight that, and that makes it stand out a little bit more. Same goes with the crack that we painted down here. You were walking away from your bike. Oh no. Well, hopefully you enjoy your walk anyway, even if you have to walk slow, Goro. That's geese for you. Geese are jerks, Lisana. Geese are jerks. There's only one goose I ever knew who was not a jerk. And that's because he was an outcast from the other geese because he was colored differently. He was a very nice goose. He even made friends with humans because he was lonely. And ducks. He hung out with the ducks a lot. Because the ducks didn't judge him. But geese are incredibly judgmental. Maybe they didn't approve of the brand of your husband's jeans. Putting just a little bit of dark stipples in here to make some variation before I pop the lighter color in there. Payback for being smug, yeah. The goose snuck up behind him. Yes, a ninja goose. Geese just do not have very good temperaments, I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay, so maybe farm geese are okay, but only with their owners, because the farm geese that I met as a child on my grandparents' farm were not nice geese. Maybe they would have thrown a fit if my grandmother keeled over, but they certainly didn't give two goose poops about any of the rest of us, and they liked to peck us kids. So I'm sorry. I don't care if other geese are nice. My opinion of geese has been firmly formulated, except for the single goose I mentioned. He gets an exemption. I did not deserve to be pecked. Thank you. I mean, that's just adding insult to injury. DMV is bad enough when you have to go. And nobody likes going there anyway, and then have geese haze you as you walk, toward the door is double bad. I wonder if the DMV hired them to just make it a worse experience. Hey, Wasser. We're talking about geese. I'm not a fan. Kuro points out that some geese are okay. At least for their owners. With their owners, but I've only had, except for one, I've only had bad experiences with geese. When that meme was going around about which animal do you think you could fight and win, and it was like a scale, a scale from like really tiny to like bear-sized. I told my husband I was never going to be able to like fight a goose. They're too nasty. They fight too dirty. He was just like, he was aghast. He's like, you could beat a goose. They have hollow bones. And I'm like, I don't care. Geese are nastier than I am. Geese will escalate where I would not escalate. I would lose a fight with a goose. I would just like throw up my hands and run away. Because I knew that goose would be more intent on violence than I would be. Alrighty. Got some nice stippling going on, some nice stone texture now on this. Gotta get this side here. Yeah, I was gonna say, you're probably an owner because you feed them. You have that status. You've bribed the geese. You're also like current eco-friendly animals, so I think you get a buy with a lot of species. So yeah, so Bend has a goose problem. Is that what you're saying? The goose Gestapo, the Gustapo. The goose mafia. They're gonna shake you down. They don't really want your lunch money. They just want to make you feel bad. Oh, funny, Rach. Yeah. So you can't even. You have to feed all of them, or you get attacked by the ones that you're not feeding. Yeah, this just reinforces my opinion of geese. They're not bigger than you, but they feel like they're bigger than you. It feels like there's a goose racket in Bend. Maybe the DMV was just like, if you can't beat them, join them. Funny, Cornico. I have to go to the Hallmark store this weekend. It's my once a year Hallmark store trip. I only go for Christmas. Need to get some gift bags and more ribbons and stuff. David's already packed a bunch of stuff. He like wrapped presents the other night while I was doing my weightlifting. Alright, I want to get some lighter edges in some of these stones. I have to probably go right up to my highlight on this though. Use the side of my brush to just get the edges here. And I'm going to stipple that highlight on rather than just drawing it on with a solid line. Or at least make it a little bit broken here and there. Alright. I think the stone, I just need a little bit more light on the hearts. And then we can do the gold. How do we do the gold for the last half hour? get stipples in here. Just to get a little bit more texture. Don't have to be like super precise about it. Just want to put something in there. Now we get the sides here. I think birds regularly communicate with each other, don't they, about food? Mine certainly know when I've refilled the bird feeder. Like they've got little lookouts. I think that site I just looked at had jackdaw shirt. No, petrels. Actually, it's a beautiful petrel shirt. It's gorgeous. I kind of like that shirt. I kind of want it. It's pretty. All right, stipple, 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 stipple. Oh, except I probably need to stipple some darks on. Starting to look really good though. Yeah, I'm gonna get some dark color, dark stipple color going on here. Give it a little bit more contrast. It's all on the, should be on the Stream VOD washer, but really it's just like using a dark blue and then choosing more like a kind of a faded color to bring up the color you need to highlight the seams. I was just comparing it to my blue jeans, essentially, where the highlights were. But I mean, I think we started with Ritterlich blue, because I tend to like Ritterlich, but I think I might have mixed something into it. But yeah, I didn't actually do as much on these as I've done on like blue jean type pants in the past, because this model's so small. Usually I do more of a linear highlight that brings out the texture of like denim, but because she's so small, I just didn't do it. So I'm going to get a little bit of highlights up here. And we get a little bit more of this, and we look nice. And the other side we actually did do a fair amount. We did dark anyway, we didn't get the light all done. Yeah, I don't remember how many videos ago we did the pants. Quite a few, I think. Alrighty. There we go. I feel good about the stone now. Excellent. Alright, so we're going to mix up our gold colors so we can do that belt buckle and trim. My J's have stuck around, my brush J's. There are a couple of them. My pretty bluebirds. I loves them. Alright, so we want our brown liner with our russet brown. Oh, I think this brown liner bottle might finally be empty. Oh, no, I got the last 2 drops out of it. There we go. Now it can be discarded. Kill the bottle of brown liner. R.I.P. brown liner. Long live the brown liner. Yeah, I got a platform feeder, a tray feeder, to go, because my other ones are more uprights, right? I've got a thistle feeder and the squirrel buster, which is a vertical feeder, a cone-shaped, a cylindrical feeder. So I got a flat one with a mesh bottom that would be easier for the bigger birds. And they seem to like it. I get a ton of doves now too. I knew that it was only a matter of time until they abandoned our neighbor and found my place. We have both crows and ravens here in our neighborhood. I usually see the crows, but I hear the ravens. I really love my scrub jays. I think they're the prettiest. I'm biased, of course, because they're at my house, but alrighty. I'm gonna get Kiki's being a woofer again. Nothing's out there, Bubs. You can just be a good girl. Nothing's out there. Nothing's out there. Hi, Keekers. Do you know you have a massive head? You have a massive noggin. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, but you do. I only realize it when you stick your noggin up by me. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, that dog has a massive noggin. So massive. So massive. Don't bump your head, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Now you just put a ton of fur into my atmosphere, and it's going to end up on my minis. It's going to end up on my minis. It is. Kiki's like, oops, sorry, not sorry. Enough, Kiki. Alright, get a base color and then we'll mix up our highlights. Because this is a small... Enough! Settle! Because this is a small model, I'm not going to mix up as many colors as I did for NMM Gold and other models. When the smaller the model you get, the more you can just kind of spot highlight and just not do a terribly elaborate job on it. You just have a lot of room, so you can generalize. Then we get our lantern yellow. Maybe I'll get candlelight out. Actually, maybe I'll try the new lantern yellow I just got sent. Where are you, new lantern yellow? 2.0. Let's try our 2.0 lantern yellow. Yeah, and I don't blame them for being wary of people. People can be jerks. Not as big of jerks as geese, but close. We saw, I think they were blue herons. We saw some sort of heron out in the pastures when we went up when we were hiking. Apparently they were not anywhere near water. They were apparently hunting for probably voles and baby mice or something. I don't know. So I'm mixing a little bit of my base into that. And I want to put a little bit of white in it. There were some ibis type birds in Hawaii that were definitely hunting people's sandwiches instead of bugs. There we go. All right. You just gotta settle, Bubs. It doesn't matter. It just does not matter. You are the Bubs who cried wolf. You're the Bubs who cried axe murderer. If a real axe murderer shows up, we're never gonna believe you. I wonder if I got a picture of those birds in the field. Let me see. Crinico could probably figure out what they are. Where are we? Maybe I didn't save a picture. Yeah, I guess I didn't. I tried to take one, but they didn't turn out that great, so I guess I just didn't save them. Yeah, no love. Alrighty, let's get these mixed up and get our M&Ms on. Alright, so I've got kind of like a very much condensed set. Instead of a full 5, we're using 3, 4, plus white, 3 plus white, so. And I'm just going to be doing mixes, spot mixes, instead of mixing up all these extra colors, because I probably only really need like a little bit of the lighter yellow. So I'll just be mixing it on the upper part of the palette when I need it. In truth, doing like these little touches of gold M&M, like the wet palette would actually be a great tool for this, because you don't have very much to do, and you just need like quick little mixes and transitions. You don't need the paint to you don't need vast quantities of paint that need to stay wet for a long time. So that's the kind of thing that I think the wet palette really can excel at least as pertains to like my style and how I would use it. But I don't feel like setting it up this morning, so. This is definitely more pointed upward here. The way the leg is kind of cocked back under the wall. And there'll be a little bit of highlight here as well. And there'll be some reflected light down there. Then we're going to get our lighter yellow. Oh, nice. Swans. Yeah. Join us. Join us in the bird club, Quindy. The bird lovers club. Putting a little bit of shadow in here underneath the highlight. We got the only seasonal bird that I've seen in our area is the stripy head sparrow, which has a different name, but I call it a stripy head sparrow because that's what it is. But they're back. They're back this year, so that's nice. I like them. They're cute. They're not nasty sparrows. Yeah, peanut shells. I've thought about getting them, but the thing is, my little birds really are alarmed when the big birds come around, like the brush jay. So I don't know that I want to pull more big birds unless I do it on the other side of the house. Because whenever the brush jays come in, the little birds scatter, and sometimes they hit the glass of our big windows over there. And we have had one fatality. So I would rather not. It was not any of my favorite birds that died, at least, but we'd rather not have any fatalities due to attracting bigger birds. So they're too close to the windows. I want actual chickens, not necessarily wild ones. But we do not have room. And I do not need another thing to like worry about when we leave home on trips, even if we did have the room. So getting that little bits of yellow down there. It's really just little touches. Oh, so he gets an easier meal, huh, Kuro? Smart. We have sharp-shinned hawk in our neighborhood. I see him from time to time, hunting around. He doesn't like our area to hunt in, or our yard to hunt in, because we don't have real good clearance around our bird feeders, because we keep a lot of vegetation for the little birds, because they're hung from the lemon tree for the most part, and the lemon tree is a beast. And then we've got the lattice work kind of extending over that patio, so he doesn't have a real clear shot to come down and have lunch at our place. I've only seen him that once, where he landed in the lemon tree and gave me an extremely disgruntled look before leaving. And I saw him out on the back fence once, eyeing down the side of our house. So, like, thinking if he could launch himself along the horizontal plane at the little birds. Kiki, that's enough. No. Yeah, they are grumpy looking. Grumpy bird instead of grumpy cat. Here, because this is a cylinder, I'm really just going to highlight the main area, because this model has a definite viewing angle, and it's not from the side, so I'm going to just pretty much highlight the front here. Haven't done our eyeballs yet either. I suppose I need to do those. CrossFit tonight, and I haven't seen how bad it's going to be. I skipped Tuesday because I was just too frazzled, and I did the workout in my garage instead. Because I just didn't want to like spend the hour plus of going over there and doing the hour thing and coming back. Let's see. I think it's like ring dips and pull-ups, which is one of my favorite thing. Yeah. Oh, and a 2K row. Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm down. I'm down on that. I like rowing. Even though I have short limbs and shouldn't like it. I'll be last, but that's all right. So for a round thing like the belt buckle, I'm going to get the top part with entirely with a lighter yellow, and then I'm going to get a little bit of the bottom just for that kind of secondary highlight. But I want to put a little bit of shadow on either side. Again, this is so small that you're really just generalizing. You're really just like, you're not trying to be terribly precise. You just want to get a little bit of a shadow in there. On the sides below the highlight. I like rowing because it feels like I can just get in a groove and execute. And then a little bit of a higher highlight above that shadow on the sides here. A little bit of a shadow right under the highlight here on this side part of the belt. Alright, the back side of this little thing got nothing, so I'm going to do a bit of reflected light over here since it's kind of turning toward the stone. It's not going to get as much. Were I painting more realistically, I would be using a cooler highlight color than this to show that it's kind of in shadow and getting the reflected off of the stonework here. But again, because this is a very small model, and we're not trying to be terribly realistic with it, I'm just going to put a little bit of highlight just to bring out the detail there, and I don't care if it's a warmer highlight. Then we'll move up here. And get this. Yeah, the workout tonight at CrossFit is all stuff I like, so. And I'm not as stressed today as I was. So here again, we're going to just be putting a general highlight on this part of the cylinder because it's facing the viewer. When you have very little area, you've just got to generalize. So you're going to put down a highlight on the edge here, and you're going to put a lighter highlight within it, smaller. Just to bring out that color. Don't have a lot of room here. I can put a shadow underneath it, or kind of under here. Oh, I think I've seen one of those in like a bird sanctuary, or I've seen pictures of it. The spoonbill. That sounds familiar though. Yeah, I imagine that New Orleans has quite a diverse bird population, given the relatively friendly climate in the winter. Plus you've got all the bog, swamp, wetlands. I guess mostly it's just wetlands. I don't know, you guys probably don't have bogs. It's mostly swamp, huh? I don't know though. And with Thoramel around, you never know when a bog is looming. Yes, remember the climate and then you won't be so jealous, right? In the winter, your climate's nice though. There's a pretty, as I recall, the New Orleans like marathon is actually, and the half marathon are pretty well known, and a lot of people aim to run them because the climate is so nice for running in the winter. So your climate doesn't suck year round, Quindy. You have both swamps and bogs. That's cool. So I was right in my initial gut assessment. That's good to know. We could use some rain. Send it over. We got that early rain, and I was hopeful that it meant we would have a very rainy winter, but it has not. Since that initial bout that we had, it has not rained. I wish. We've been so cold out here this December for our climate. Definitely colder than normal. David poked me with his hands this morning after Kiki's walk, and he was like ice, even though that was through his gloves. Very cold. It's been in the low 40s overnight, like 40 degrees overnight, which for us is really cold. No, it's not much to the rest of you guys. Yeah, it was 40 overnight. Oh, it's supposed to be to 65 today. looks like we're going to have a couple warmer days. And then a chance of rain next week. All right, so here we're getting the upward facing, we're highlighting, we're going to put a shadow under it, or I just did. Yeah. Yeah, it's been sunny but really cold here. Which at least, will it be nice for my running this weekend? Yes, it should be nice for my running this weekend. Next weekend looks like it's going to be not as good. Yeah. Yeah, that's warm for you guys, or wet. Yeah, right. 40 degrees would be warm for you, cold for us. If you did a temperature scarf, you'd have a lot of blue for rain, right? Is it blue for rain? Or gray for rain? Or is it purely temperature and you don't like reflect atmospheric effects in your temperature scarves? Yeah, that's right. You guys got the snow last year. That's pretty cool. That's what we never get. I can see snow up on the mountain if it's like been that way, but it's rare. Hey, Michael. Alrighty, and then there should be a little bit of gold on the back here, so. Yeah, Wisconsin has had a crap ton of snow too. My sister-in-law sent us a picture. They had like another 8 inches or something. They are going to be very happy to go to Hawaii at the end of this month. As will we, because it's been so freaking cold. And hopefully that Hawaiian dose will last me until it starts getting warmer again. Okay, find a picture. Yeah. This is the snow. Those are their chairs. Or it's the edge of it. You can see how tall the snow is. Yeah, I think those are like the chairs or the plant boxes or something. I don't remember. Serious snow. Oh, 2 feet. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot for you guys. It's a lot for anybody. Probably the last time I had a huge snowfall would have been back in Wisconsin. I didn't get any big snows when I lived out on the East Coast, although the year after I left, they got like 2 feet of snow. And once again, we're going to pop a highlight in the middle of our highlights here. That's going to be brighter. Especially if you're doing these little general highlights, you really need to take it up to white. Otherwise it won't look correct. Yeah, if they weren't happy with snow, they shouldn't have moved to Illinois. Exactly. Having grown up in the state above that one, 100% correct. You don't move to the Midwest if you don't like cold, or at least are willing to deal with it. Me, I will stay in the more friendly climates for now. David could still talk me into retiring to Colorado, but we'll see. The only good thing about the extreme cold and the snow and all that is just that it feels so cozy to be inside. You get the proper winter vibe. Shadow there. Okay, here we go. Now some eyeballs real quick and we'll be good. Her eyes are very small, so I'm probably not going to use the pure white. I'll probably use the off the stone colored white that I mixed up. Just want to make sure that those are filled in with the dark. And then one eye is almost completely covered with the hair, so you really only have one eye to paint. Yeah, we're indoor cats, so it's okay. Yeah, I let Panther out to put his paws in the snow once, and he was just not thrilled. He was excited to go out onto the front porch, which is as far as I ever let him go. But when he paused, went in the snow, he was just like, oh. It's like, what is this stuff, Mom? What mean joke have you played on me? Kiki has only ever encountered snow when it's like in patches in places that are actually warmer. I am going to put a little bit of white at the inner corner of that eye, though. Yeah, exactly, Mom, you tricked me. Yep. I can get the eye in a little bit underneath that hair. But boy, it's going to be painful trying to get a pupil in there. These are just super tiny. And her pose makes it very, not really practical to make her looking a certain way. So you could have her looking at the beer. I suppose we can have her looking at her beer. That would be thematic. I'm going to grab my walnut brown. You want a color that's very dark and high coverage. You're not ready to lose your new favorite show, Whitney. Or you're not ready for what's going to happen. Climax of the season. Alright, there we go. And then I want to use just a little bit of water in there. The reason you use a high coverage black or near black is because you can thin it and still get perfect coverage. You want it thin so that it can come off in a very small dot off your brush. But if you try to thin a color that doesn't have awesome coverage, then you're just going to, it's not going to go on real solid. It's not going to look right. Not ready to not have any more episodes, yes. That's the sad thing about TV shows. Alright. We'll try to make her looking at her beer. And I'm going to use a smaller brush. Loading about halfway up with the walnut. And come up from underneath, as always. There we go. And there we go. I don't think I can get a catch light in there. There we go. Looking at her beer. Oh, and technically she's got a smile. I need to get the teeth. And this time I want to flatten my brush. There we go. There we are. Happy, happy little Oktoberfest wench. And we gotta get I guess I gotta get the bottom there done. Should have been doing these flagstones when I was doing the window. And I didn't even think about it. I'm not gonna do a more elaborate base for her if she's such a little little thing. We'll see if we can do a very basic doctoring of this stone. Yeah, I may just save the rest of the stone and painting vase for basing day when we have like just like 10 minutes left or something, since we're already almost done with this. Because it's going to be wet, so I won't be able to paint it right away. But yeah, so there we go. She's a happy little beer frau. And I just have to decide what we're gonna paint. I guess I have a giant box of Reaper models for stream over here. I could just grab some and have you guys vote quick. Because I think, oh no, I already have one. Never mind, I already chose one. We're doing Drunken Wizard. He looks like he's drunk. It's the skew hat. So yeah, we're doing Glen and Dark Mantle. Yep, Drunken Wizard. We're totally painting him like a Drunken Wizard. I did get a bunch of familiars, so we can even give him a familiar. So yeah, so we'll finish, tomorrow is, tomorrow is throwing paint on the floor. Quindy loves that. So tomorrow is just finishing up a little bit of the base here, the tombstone for the most part. We don't have anything on the back. I think we've got almost everything else done. We just need to paint the rim and sign him, and do the back of the tombstone. So we're finishing up this dude. David is watching the show that has the same guy that was on The Good Place right now. And so for this guy, we're going to put Ogre Mage in. So Ogre Mage will stand in for this guy, and we may start him tomorrow. It depends if I can get the model prepped. If not, we'll shift to like doing some simple basing after we finish this guy. Yep. Yeah, they tend to go in, I don't know why they go in packs, but they do. But yeah, the minis totally tend to run in packs as far as getting completed. So yeah, we got that was pretty much, I guess the bust is almost also, she's getting really close, but not quite. So these guys will both tag complete at the same time. But we still have minis that were kind of halfway along, like Ghost Horsey and Ghoul King. So not quite as bad. I remember we had at one point where like four of our minis were all like completing at the same time. So, alrighty. Rust Monster, Marach. If we have a Rust Monster. I mean, you're doing all those other kind of like, you know, first and second level dungeon critters. So, alright. So, I'll see you here tomorrow, guys, for Glowy Night. And I hope you have a lovely Map Reaper Live. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. We're moving toward the weekend. Yay. We don't have a Rust Monster. Aww. Sadness. Displacer Beast? That's actually more like a tier 4 monster, but... Alright, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow, and have a great afternoon or evening or whatever you're doing. Alright? Bye-bye.